Peace, assalamu alaikum. This is your brother Rahim again, your investigative reporter, and this is part 5, the vulgarity of the Bible. So let's go straight into this. We're going to deal with incest in Yahweh's book between father and his daughters. And it says, that night they, both the daughters of Lot, gave him, their father Lot, wine to drink. So they got him drunk. We already had that discussion about the wine. Why would you give your father wine to drink? That's one to think about. And it goes on to say, and the older daughter had intercourse with him. The next day the older daughter said to her sister, I slept with him last night. Now let's get him drunk again. So they're going to get him drunk again. It goes on to say, and you sleep with him. Then each of us will have a child by our father. So that night they got him drunk, and the younger daughter had intercourse with him. In this way, both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. Genesis chapter 19, verses 33-35. Good News Bible in today's English. In the older versions, like the King James and Roman Catholic versions, sexual intercourse is vaguely described as collecting the seed of our father. That's what they said, end quote. The thing is, you have to ask, why are they getting them drunk twice? And why are they sleeping with him? What does this all mean? Are they thinking they need to repopulate the earth because Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed? Couldn't have been that, because Abraham was still alive. It says in the Bible, he was looking on and saw the smoke from the Sodom and Gomorrah as it been destroyed. That's like me and say my sister, I live in Harlem and she lives in Bronx. Something happens in Harlem and I can get out. I know she's there in the Bronx, so I'm headed toward the Bronx. Yeah, they were instructed to go a certain place, but after that, they should have went to Abraham. They knew he was alive, so it couldn't have been that. So what is this really about, folks? What did they do that for? Why is this type of filth in a so-called inspired words to man to give to other men? This isn't expiring. This is like pornography, incest. Let's move on. Incest between mother and son. While Jacob, Israel, was living in the land, Reuben, his firstborn, his eldest son, had sexual intercourse with Bilhah, his father's concubine. Genesis chapter 35, verse 22. A concubine is a secondary wife, which is lower than the first wife. Let's get that straight. All right. So, what is really going on here? I cannot read this filth to my daughters. Can you imagine? I got 2 daughters. Me sitting beside my 2 daughters, talking about 2 daughters that slept with their father, Lot. That don't sound crazy. And then you got people like Hezekiah saying, come over there where they are. You gotta be crazy. You won't find this in the Quran. When it talks about Lot, it never mentions that. It doesn't mention this type of sexual stuff. Incest between father-in-law and daughter-in-law. When Judah saw her, Tamar, his daughter-in-law, he thought she was a prostitute because she had covered her face. Back in those times, cover the face, you covered the face not just because you were a prostitute, but you covered the face from a stranger. Just like when you read about Rebecca, when she was in the field and the stranger came, she covered her face. Okay? So let's read. He went over to her at the side of the road and said, all right now, all right. How much do you charge? He did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. Okay. She said, what will you give me? Basically, to have sex with me. He answered, I will send you a young goat from my flock. She said, all right, if you will give me something to keep as a pledge until you send the goat. He gave them the pledges to her, then had intercourse, and she became pregnant. So I guess the excuse is he didn't know. But my point is, okay, what is this doing in the Bible? What does that got to do with me, getting spirituality out of this? I mean, if he didn't know, didn't know. But what does that have to do with spirituality? Nothing. Incest and rape between brother and sister. He took hold of her, Tamar, his sister, not to be confused with Tamar in C above, which I already read, and said unto her, come lie with me. Basically, have sex with me, my sister. 2 Samuel chapter 13:11. And she answered him, nay, meaning no, my brother. Do not force me. 2 Samuel chapter 13 verse 12. But he would not listen to her. And since he was stronger than she was, he overpowered and raped her. Wow. Chapter 2 Samuel chapter 13 verse 14. Okay. So that's deep. That's deep right there. He raped her. Okay. So here's another one. So they set up a tent for Absalom on a palace roof. And in the sight of everyone, Absalom went and had intercourse with his father's concubine. Again, concubine means wife, secondary to the first wife. Samuel chapter 16 verse 22. 2 Samuel. Okay. For other various types of incest, see Leviticus chapter 18 verses 8 through 18, chapter 20 verses 11 to 14, and 17 to 21. I can't read it all, so I'm just trying to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, this is crazy. Here's another rape. Judges chapter 23. And the man and the master of the house went out unto them and said unto them, nay, my brother, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly, seeing that this man is come to mine house, do not folly. Verse 24, same chapter. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine, which he gave, the maiden and his concubine, them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man do not so vow a thing. Verse 25, same chapter. But the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth unto them. And they knew her, meaning they had sex with her, and abused her, meaning they raped her, all night. All the night. Until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. Verse 26, same chapter. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day and fell down at the door of the man's house where her Lord was, till it was light. Lord meaning basically a king or somebody she respected very highly. Now I'm going to comment on this. What I haven't read, you see, they abused her all night until the morning. So that means they ran a train on her all night. They raped this woman all night until the morning. That's hours, people. What is this doing in the Bible? I can't get a lesson from this. We already know what rape is. I'm not getting spirituality out of this. This woman was raped so bad, when she got to the door, she fell at the man's door. That's a brutal rape. It done went beyond. That's not in the Quran. Nothing like that in the Quran. Now, we're going to go somewhere else. Onanism. For those who don't know, the withdrawal of the penis from the vagina before ejaculation. The New Collins Dictionary medical term, coitus interruptus. Okay? A lot of guys do this for maybe they don't want to have a child, they pull out. That's how you say it in the street. You pull out. Okay? New York say we pull out. So this is what it is. And Judah said to Er's deceased brother Onan, go and sleep, have sex with your brother's widow. But Onan knew that the children would not belong to him, meaning carry his name. So when he had intercourse with his brother's widow, Tamar, he let the semen spill on the ground so that there would be no children for his brother. Genesis chapter 38 verses 8 and 9. I advise you to read that whole chapter. In all the places where I gave you, read the whole chapters, people. Again, what type of spirituality would I get out of this? Only thing I'll get is a vision of seed sperm dropping on the floor. That's why they call it onanism, because they get it from the Bible. See, they even made up a word in a regular dictionary. Cannibalism in the Bible. Like I said, you won't see onanism in the Quran, but yet the Quran ain't supposed to be the word of Yahweh or Allah. Okay, let's do this. As Bentray say, let's get it. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 52-53. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until the high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou truest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout the land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherein thy enemies shall distress. I don't even have to go through that. You get it. Okay? Now, when you go into this, Deuteronomy chapter 23, verses 13 to 18, and I advise you to read the whole chapter. It talks about fingering, the parents fingering their child to show basically that the child is a virgin when they, get married. So whoever married, they was big on virgins. Okay? And I have underlined, the parents shall display the cloth, meaning they had put their finger inside the woman, inside the girl, so they could show the man. Okay? And we don't have that in the Quran. All right? So you see this, people. This is trust me, I have more with the Mishnah. I can go deeper, but I'm not, because it's really, really terrible, people. Unless somebody debate me, I'm going in on them. But this is the type of stuff that Bentray will never tell you, but I'll tell you. Okay? So stay tuned for part, what's this, 5? Yeah, stay tuned for part 6. All right? And I say peace.